get like an alert or something that we're going on Facebook Live, just so you all know that you're on there. It says it's setting up the meeting on Facebook right now. And I get like an alert or something. Okay. So that is all set up. All right. And it's 6:59. So in about 1 minute, we will get started. Okay, so still another 30 seconds for people to get on. While we're waiting, there's a way that you can raise your, oh, I'm not sure what I just did there. Hold on a second. There's a way you can raise your hand on Zoom. If you don't know, there's a thing there. I want to see, just a show of hands, how many will be doing their first ever triathlon this Saturday? Do the little hand raise there. I see a few. Oh, I see a lot more coming up there. That is awesome, because that's why we're here, to talk about all of those things that have been on your mind for a while, ever since you started training probably, or actually probably even before that. So looking like plenty of first timers. Love it. How many have done triathlons before, but Island Lake Tri is going to be your first try, or your first Island Lake Tri, I'm sorry. It's your first time doing Island Lake. Okay, quite a few of those too. And then I guess everybody else either isn't raising their hand, or they maybe have done Island Lake in the past, and maybe can help answer some of the questions that you all have. So what I'm going to do now is go through, I've got a whole bunch of slides for you. Oh, I see Erica is a first timer and doesn't know how to raise her hand. I'm glad that someone else is answering that. Thank you. There, I think that we might have some EPIC staff people on here who can help answer questions in the chat. But for the ones that they can't answer, I of course can answer and will answer. But some of you just might have to be a little bit patient waiting. So I'm going to be talking and trying to keep an eye on the chat. It's kind of hard to do both. And I have a whole talk to go through. So probably the best thing to do if you have questions would be to wait until the end when I'm finished going through the talk, and then I can answer them. Just it's a little bit for me distracting when I'm trying to focus on the plan that I have of all the things I want to go over with all of you, if there's chats popping up, because I want to see what everybody's asking and saying. So I don't think right now, I'm looking through and I don't see anybody on yet. So if you have questions pertaining to some of the things we go through and want to pop them in there, that's okay. I might take some pauses to go through and answer, but most likely most of that will happen at the end. So right now, I am going to share my screen with you. And go through all you need to know. And here we are. And also, just so you know, it's okay with me. Please stay muted. But it's okay with me if you want to unmute and ask a question. If there's something that I'm going over, if there's something I need to know, because since I'm not going to be looking at the chat, it's okay just to chime in and say, can you explain that a little better, or something that you need to know at that time. So I'm now going to tell you all you need to know about Island Lake Tri 2022. And this is kind of what it's going to look like on the beach. The weather looks great. I'm very excited about that. I hope you are all as well. So first thing, packet pickup. We have 3 opportunities for you to pick up your packet. The first one will be this Thursday. at Holmes campus, which is in Ann Arbor. And can you do me a favor, people who have their hands up, can you put them down? Because I keep getting these little pop-ups telling me that people have their hands up. So the easiest thing, if you do have a question, again, just unmute yourself and blurt out the question. That's going to be the simplest way to do it. So Holmes campus is here in Ann Arbor, and it's a very cool place. And we are going to be serving Smooge from Holmes after the race. If you've never had Smooge at Holmes, it's this really cool beer-like beverage. It's kind of a cross between a beer and a seltzer, and it's quite delicious. So I'm really excited to have them as a sponsor. And for that, we're having packet pickup there on Thursday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. I will be there. I will also have a bike rack there. And I'm going to do a little transition demonstration, show you how to set up transition. We're going to be doing all of that on Thursday at Holmes, as opposed to at the park on Friday night like we normally do, because there is a lot of construction out on 96, and I have a feeling it's going to be challenging for a lot of you to get there, and I don't want you to have that stress the day before your race. So we've added this additional opportunity on Thursday, and that's where all of the information really will be happening. That said, you absolutely can come to the park to packet pick up on your second opportunity on Friday. That's going to be from 4 till 6 at Island Lake. And if you can't do Thursday or Friday, you can come race morning and pick up your packet between 6 a.m. and 7:15. The reason we have this phone with this QR code here is because we have a contact list packet pickup. You all should have received a QR code with your registration. There's a few times you would have gotten it. The first time when you first registered, you get a confirmation. There's a QR code in there. And we've sent it out a couple of times since then. We will be sending it again. So if you don't know where to find it, no worries. It will go out again, probably Thursday and Friday. And you can take a screenshot of that. And all you need to do when you come up to packet pickup is show that QR code. We scan it. We know who you are. We assign a bib to you, and you are on your way. So again, Thursday, 4 to 7 at Holmes campus. It's a very cool place. There's also going to be a taco food truck there. And it's a fun time. After all of that, you're going to have to get to Island Lake Rec Area. The address is here, 6301 Kensington Road. I believe if you put that address in an app, something like Waze, it probably will give you the right way to get there. That's what I plan to do when I go there during busy traffic times. There also is a link in the athlete guide that you have all received by now. You should have the athlete guide. If you haven't seen the emails, if you go to the website, it's www.epicislandlaketry.com. If you go there, there's a tab that says athlete guide. You click on that, it has all the information, and it will have the link that tells you the traffic situation out on I-96 and all around there. Joel, do you have a question, or is your hand still raised from earlier? If you have a question, you can unmute and ask it, or take down your hand. Okay, thanks. So that's how you're going to get there. Packet pickup, this is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get, and you're going to bring it with you race morning. So your bib is going to be a big piece of paper like that one, and it has little perforations and stickers and all sorts of things there. This is the QR code, different from the one that you're giving us when you register. This QR code will tell you your time when you finish. So instead of posting times where everybody goes and like crowds around to go look, and it's just like a lot of people trying to get in there to see how they did, or even hovering around a computer, touching computers, you look at your bib, you take your phone, and I think by now we're all pretty used to QR codes. You put your camera on it, and it will take you to the results. and that's how you're going to see how you did. Sometimes you have to give it a little bit of time. I mean, it's not like right immediate, right when you cross the finish line, but I'd say like 10 minutes after you finish, your results should be there. Please understand that some people in your category may start the race after you. So whatever shows up on your results right away may change over time. So give it a little bit of time for your final results to be on there. There are some stickers here. You put one of these stickers on your helmet. You don't really need to put this on your kit. It says kit labels, it comes with it, but it's just a sticker. You can keep that to remember your number. If you have a supporter, somebody there cheering you on, they can wear your sticker there. You don't need the bag tag. There's a lot of extra stickers here. This one's important though. Put this on the seat post of your bike, and it just kind of goes over your seat tube there and goes on the back. These swim caps were they were supplied by Zone 3, and for those of you who have done epic races in the past, our caps are okay. These caps, I'm so excited because they're so comfortable. They are silicone caps. They almost feel like a combo silicone latex. I think they're silicone, and they're just a little thinner than a typical silicone cap. I have trouble that silicone slides off my head. I've been swimming with this cap all week, actually all last week and this week, and I just love it. So I hope you guys put it on and feel the way I did when I first put it on. This chip here is going to go on your ankle. It's got a little sticker. You wrap it around your ankle, you stick it, and this is what will give you your time. If you're wearing a wetsuit, make sure you have it like down below your wetsuit. Don't put it over the ankle part of your wetsuit for sure, because then it'll just come off when you take off your wetsuit. Don't have it under either, just like below. So if this is your ankle, here's your strap, and your wetsuit would be right here. So do it like that, and it's yours to keep. We don't take that off at the end, but make sure you have it on your ankle and have it nice and secure on there. Big question I get is what to wear. So you can see in these photos, these are photos from Island Lake. This is what people wear, all different things. We've got someone wearing a two-piece bathing suit. We have someone here in looks like a short tri-suit, maybe two-piece tri-suit. There might be some wetsuits back there, but really don't wear anything new. Wear something you have trained in. It's okay to wear a bathing suit the whole time if that's what you've got. If you have a tri-suit, that's great. If you wear a bathing suit, you want to pull on bike shorts over your bathing suit, that's okay. It's really what works best for you. What you don't want to do is have to change your clothes in transition. That does not work very well. You want something that's going to work for you throughout the entire race. So you can see here just, different things, like sometimes people will, put on a t-shirt at the end for the run. Lots of different ways to manage that. And as you can see here at one of our triathlons, people, just all different outfits. Big question, do I need a wetsuit? You do not need a wetsuit. If you have a wetsuit, most likely it will be wetsuit legal and you can wear your wetsuit. If the water temperature is 78 or warmer, you cannot wear your wetsuit. It's not wetsuit legal. That said, if you don't care about being eligible for awards, you can wear your wetsuit up to 83.9 degrees. After that, if it's 84 and warmer, you absolutely cannot wear a wetsuit because it's unsafe. You could overheat. I would put a lot of money on it that it will be wetsuit legal on Saturday morning. So you can wear a wetsuit if you want. I don't think it's going to be very cold. I think the water is going to feel wonderful. So either way, if you have a wetsuit, great. If you don't need one. So transition area and body marking. Now here's a picture of transition. And if an ad that we've sometimes sent out for somebody is, if this is your bike, maybe you'd like a swim lesson. But chances are that will not be your bike, the only one in transition. Transition, when you get there, is going to be crowded with a lot of bikes. You will have one area that's your area. there are going to be labels on the ends of the bike racks that have your age group, and you look for your age group, and that is where you're going to rack your bike. For those of you who have done our races in the past, you know that normally we put your bib number on the bike racks. And so you go look for that number. We are no longer doing that because we now do this dynamic bib assignment, which is great. It's much more efficient. It's good for you and it's good for us. But because of that, your bib number is going to be next to the person who you checked in after or before, not with somebody in your age group. There's a lot of reasons we want people to have their bikes racked with their age group. Number one, if you're racing, you want to see where those people are. You want to know that they're on the bike, they're back from the bike. You want to keep an eye on them. Also for us, for safety, if we know that all of the women 50 to 54 went in the water to start, and now there's just one bike left on that rack, we know to be a little concerned. Chances are it's fine. Chances are they decided not to bike. And
how will racking be handled for Clydesdale and Athena?
The same thing. You'll be with your age group. It won't be a separate rack unless by that day, if there's enough to make a whole rack, then there'll be a rack labeled. Otherwise, it will be with the age group because you'll be starting with the age group. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. So with those racks, just, like I said, look for the label. And if usually we are going to label them by, larger groups, but it depends who's registered if we start pinpointing it into smaller groups. So that's how that's going to work. Body marking, beginning last year, we started doing self body marking. So there will be buckets on the ends of the bike racks with markers in there, and there'll be instructions on how to body mark yourself. If you have a close friend there, somebody you're comfortable marking each other, you can do that. You will write a number on each bicep, and you will, if you're wearing a long sleeve wetsuit, you'll write your number on your hands. Or on one hand is actually fine. And then a triathlon thing that seems a little odd to people who have never done it before, but those who have been doing triathlon for some time know it's common to write your age on the back of your calf. And your age in triathlon years is your age at the end of this calendar year. So if your birthday is after June 4th, your age on race day is your age on your birthday this year. So let's say you are in the mini sprint. You would write an M, and under that you would write your age. If you're in the sprint, you write an S. If you're in the Olympic, you'd write an O, and you would put that on the back of your calf. And that's something you might need somebody helping you to do that. That's a little hard to do on your own, but I've seen it done. If you want some tips on setting up your transition area, there's this link up at the top here that you can go to. It's on the Epic Races website, how to set up your transition area. We also have a video that's in the athlete guide. This is something that's typed up. And here's a sample transition area that's set up very nice. You can see this person has their shoes. Sometimes you only have one pair of shoes. If you're going to bike and run in your same shoes, you would put them on there. A little towel folded up, and sometimes you'll have a bag for your stuff, your race bit or your race belt with your bib on it, all ready to go. I sometimes will have a hat there. I put on a hat for the run because it's usually warm by then, but it gives you a little bit of an idea of what to do. So
do you have to use a buoy for the swim? Or
you do not have to. You can if you want to.
Okay.
They are allowed. We used to have it where you could use one, but you weren't eligible for awards. And then we said you can use them and you are eligible for awards, but please start at the back. Now you can just use one. I'm all for it. I see no reason not to. It does not help you in the swim at all. Yes, it provides flotation, but it's safety. If anything, it's extra drag. So it's something you can do, don't have to do if you don't want to.
All right, thank you.
Sure. So that answers that question, something I was going to talk about. This is going to be a time trial start. what we're going to do, and this is what we've been doing for quite some time now, we will call up groups together by gender and by age group. And then that group will organize themselves from the fastest to the least fast swimmer. And a way that sometimes people will do that is they'll discuss maybe what their 100 swim time, maybe if they swim at 100, what's the time? A lot of people have no idea, and that's absolutely okay. But you just kind of talk to each other and figure it out. It's a big lake. You start 3 seconds apart. There's plenty of space if you end up starting behind somebody who's a little slower than you, or if it doesn't go exactly perfect. And it's small enough groups that you can talk among yourselves and figure that out. So we'll have all of the groups will go, and then everybody will be off. The whole Olympic race will go first, and then the sprint, and then the mini sprint. One thing that I'm going to tell you now, and we'll probably send out an email about it, the lake is as weedy as it has ever been. And we've had issues with this lake past years being pretty weedy. This is just, I think maybe it has to do with like the sudden heat the past week that the weeds grew fast. We're working with it. We're going to do our best, but it might be just a little bit of a wonky swim course where we're going to do the best we can out there.
Where can we find the swim course?
Well, the swim course I think might be posted, I'm not sure, but it doesn't matter because with the weed situation, we can't plan the swim course until we get there. We just can't. And this is what's happened past years too. We'll have this perfect swim course that's planned out. Somebody isn't muted. Will you please check to make sure you're muted? We'll have a perfectly mapped out swim course. And then when we get there, we have to change it because of the weeds. So that we won't have until we set the buoys, which will be Friday. So anybody who does come out Friday, we'll see how the buoys are set. And this is trying to move it. There we go.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Are we going to be able to get in the water at all before the race, or will our start time be the first time we're in the water?
There's warm up. You can get in the water up until 7:15. At 7:15, we will call everybody out to the beach for the pre-race meeting.
Great, thank you.
Sure. So the time trials start, like I said, you get in one at a time, and I know a lot of people think that, oh, how am I going to do that? It's just me going in. As you can see, there's just lots of ways, and you just go in and then you come out again. As you're coming out, a lot of people like to start taking off their wetsuit in the water. That sometimes can be a little bit easier. Sometimes it becomes kind of messy and difficult. People are pretty happy once they are exiting the water. Water safety. This is the beautiful Kent Lake at the Island Lake Tri. We have our lifeguards all out there and our volunteer kayakers all out there for you. They will be out there monitoring the course, keeping you on course, making sure that you are going from buoy to buoy. If while you're swimming along, you feel like you want to hold on to a kayak or a paddleboard, that's okay. You can do that. You just cannot ask them to start paddling you forward. You need to stay there with the kayak. And it's okay to catch a breath and even float on your back a little bit to do what you need to do in order to make your way from buoy to buoy and then to the finish of the swim. The bike. People have questions about bikes. Can I use a mountain bike? Can I use my kid's bike? What kind of bike do I need? You can ride any kind of bike for this race. If you're in the Olympic distance, a fat bike or a mountain bike will make it a little more challenging. But for the mini sprint or the sprint, and any bike you want to ride is fine. And it's just getting out there and riding the course and having fun. We will have bike support by Motor City Bicycle. They will be there the morning of the race. They will be leaving when the race starts, once everybody have their bikes all set and ready to go, because they need to go open up their store. But if you get there and you go and you see on the way over, you pop the tube, they'll have a tube for you. If something happens to your brakes, you need them adjusted, they can do that for you. I wouldn't wait until that morning for your bike maintenance. Check out your bike before you're heading out there, but things happen along the way. It's not uncommon. Or you didn't pump up your tires, you need some air, they will have a pump for you, all of that. So we are grateful to Motor City Bicycle for being there race morning for bike support. The run is on a paved path. The mini sprint is an out and back. The sprint is also an out and back, kind of like a little bit of a loop, but there's some out and back there. And the Olympic is 2 loops. So for the Olympic, you will be turning around on the way out with the sprint, but then when you're coming back in toward the finish line, you'll see a big sign on the grass saying turn around, and you get to go right back up that hill that you just came down and then do that loop one more time. There is an aid station just a little bit before the 1.5 mark, I'm sorry, the 0.7 mark. So right around 0.75, 0.8, something like that is where the aid station is. So sprint, you will pass that twice. And the Olympic, you will pass that 4 times. Mini sprint will have it once. Big question I got is, where does the aquabike finish? So those of you who are not familiar with aquabike, it is swim, bike, done. So you do the swim, you do the bike, after the bike, you're done. Because of that, your time stops as soon as you enter transition with your bike. That said, please go to the finish line because that's where all of the glory is. But because it's not a running event, you don't have to run to the finish line. Go rack your bike. And I always say that the aqua bikers have the best finished pictures of anybody because you rack your bike, you can fix your hair. If you want to put on some lip gloss, you can do that, look good, and then just make your way over to the finish line. Sometimes, depending upon how it's all set up, it could be a little awkward getting there, but just make your way over there, go through the finish line, put up your arms, get a great finish picture. You'll get your medal and your water and all of that, and then proceed to all of the post-race festivities. How does the relay work is another question people have. In transition, there will be an area, well, I talked about the racks earlier. There will be a rack that's all relay. And that is where the relay team will meet each other. So you'll have your swimmer will go swim, and then your biker will be waiting at that area, and the runner is allowed to wait there at that spot as well because you're a team, you're all together. And what you're going to need to do, you will have the timing strap I showed you, yours will have Velcro. And so you will trade that with each other. So the swimmer will have it, and then when they come, the biker is getting ready. A little tip from me is the runner should be taking the strap off of the swimmer and putting it on the biker while the biker is getting ready to get on the bike, walk the bike to the mountain line, go out there, and then come back. And then the runner will be waiting at the rack also, and then rack the bike, and then the runner can take off as soon as the runner has the timing strap. If something happens and the volunteers make a mistake and don't give you a timing strap with Velcro, please ask for one with Velcro because that's very important. And we have staff there, but we also have a lot of volunteers who are figuring this out. And last part is just to have fun out there, just have a great time. You can see that it's a happy time, fun time for everybody. And that is what I need to cover. You all may have more questions, some things that maybe I didn't cover. So feel free. We've got 15 minutes left if you'd like to ask some questions.
Eva, this is Todd. So you mentioned age marking. Is marking the age required?
That's a really good question. I mean, if somebody feels strongly and they don't want it, we don't have to do it, but it's kind of just part of triathlon.
Right.
I mean, I've been doing this sport since the 80s and I've always had my age written on the back of my leg.
Yeah, I know.
So it's just part of the sport. If you don't, yeah, I mean, you don't have to, but people kind of like it because it's part of the whole competition. The whole thing is that you're competing against, and I know, Todd, you know this, I'm talking to everybody, you're competing against people in your age group. And it's kind of nice. It's really a bonus if you're like running really hard to catch up to someone, you want to pass them and you see they're like not even near your age group. You can just kind of chill and just get comfortable again. And so Todd, are you managing the chat? Do I need to open it or you're good? You're looking at the chat?
No, I got the chat going. So there one more other question that wasn't answered. Do you have a rough time of about when the sprint is going to be starting?
No, everybody it doesn't matter because everybody needs to be on the beach at 7:15
That's
for the
what I thought.
mandatory race meeting. So we don't schedule races to start at different times because if we did and you missed your race, you'd be upset.
That's
So,
how I answered it in the
yeah,
chat.
you're right. Thank you.
Eva, is there a specific way that you want the Athena and Clydesdale athletes to mark their age on their legs?
That's a good question. You know what? We've never made that mandatory. We could, but
It helps for the competitive part.
Yeah,
if I know if I'm racing someone who's another Athena master, I'm going to make sure.
right,
I
you
ask
want
them.
to say, right, the same example I gave with the age group. It's the same thing. You would want to know. I think, yeah, because A and C do not, A and Aquabike could be, yeah, I'm going to make a note to myself. Let's do that.
Yeah, if you can just
Let's
figure
add-
out what you want us to do, that
No,
would
I'm
be
glad.
fantastic.
I'm glad that you brought that up because we are also making some changes to the whole category that I'll be sending out. So, I mean, USAT changes. But I think what we'll do, we'll say, because we could, I think that'll work. We could just say a C or an A next to the race that you're in. Because I don't know if we have it in mini sprint. I think it's sprint and Olympic. I'll double check. But yeah, we'll take care of it. Thank you for bringing that up.
Park permits.
You need to have a park permit to park in the park. Yeah, I think that information's in the athlete guide. I hope so. If not, we'll get it in there. But there's the passport for the state parks, and you do need to have that.
I saw it in one of the emails that was sent out. So I'm not sure if it's in the athlete guide or not, but would you have an idea? What would your guess be about most people, yay or nay, wearing wetsuits?
Oh, I don't know. I would look at photos. The photos are all on the website. I would just scroll through the photos and look and see. Maybe half. I don't know. You're always up in transition, Todd, so you don't even know. Well, how many wetsuits do you see in the transition area?
I know. I'm going to say that a lot of people are going to think it's pretty cold because I would think it was pretty cold. But so I would think a lot of people would be wearing them, but I didn't know how to answer that question either.
The water, it's, I think right now, I think the water temperature is like 72. It's not like it's warm, but I think my personal thought of what's going to happen, the air has been so warm.
I swam there yesterday. It was 74. I swam yesterday. It was 73. Felt colder though.
But the air is so warm right now.
Yeah.
Once the air cools down, the start of the race, the air is going to be in the 60s. So the water is going to feel like a bath, I think. You can all tell me I'm wrong on the beach that morning, but I really think so. I think the air is going to be so cool that the water is going to feel very warm. It'll be different. It's just going to be your perception. It's the same temperature, but the air is cooling down so close to race day that it won't cool the water down.
Right. I'd just answer that question just like you just started, about a 50-50 split.
Yeah, you'll be okay without a wetsuit, I think. I mean, if you have one, wear it if you like it. I would, but if I didn't have one, I'd be fine.
Yeah. At that temperature, you'd be fine, but I'd probably throw one on too.
Oh my God, there's 42 chats I'm seeing now. Wow.
Well, most of them have been answered. What would a relay person do if they couldn't compete due to an injury? Could they use a substitute?
They would need to transfer their entry to another person.
And
But they
runs
have
on-
to officially do that because for the liability, we can't have somebody on the course who isn't registered. So they can do that if they go to epicraces.com and click on the FAQs up at the top. There's something there that says how to transfer your number to another person. And you can do that. But
And
you need to do it, like they need to go in and start the process, and then the other person needs to pick up the entry from them and go through the process, and they'll need to have a USAT license.
Eva, it's Luann. And there's also someone asking about changing from the sprint to the Olympic, when.
Yeah, they can do that. So again, all of these, so if you go to epicraces.com and the FAQs at the top, also, I believe on the Island Lake Tri, epicislandlaketri.com. Also on there at the bottom, there's FAQs, but if you go to epicraces.com at the top, if you go right now, you can all see there's FAQs, and it talks about how to do that. There's in fact, a video telling you how to go through and change events.
Okay,
Everyone finding that? I could do a screen share and show where to find that. Should I do that?
I think it's fine.
Okay, just
I think-
epicraces.com, FAQs.
Yeah, just go to the fact page on Epic Races and you'll be good there. Somebody asked again about the park permit. How do you get that from the park itself? You get it from them?
Yeah, you can get it ahead of time. I don't know if you have to, I think you have to buy it at the park though. You used to be able to get it at Secretary of State. Now I think you can only get it at Secretary of State when you do your registration for your car.
I
So-
just did it today
Oh, you did?
there. And I had to go to the office and it was $17
Mhm.
versus like if you got it on your license plate, it was $11, but it's
Yeah.
$17 at the park office. I just did it this morning so that I was ready for this weekend.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for doing that. And thanks for sharing that information, Dawn.
And you can do it online, but it's too late for that. It takes them 12 days to mail it or something like that. So I'm an out-of-state resident. I'm just going to buy mine at the gate.
Yeah, and that's okay to do that. And also one thing about that, just so you know, if you don't do it, let's say you get there early, they're not there yet. And sometimes they don't stop everybody because they don't want to hold up. When you pull in, you'll go park. When you come to your car, you're going to have something on there that's going to look like a ticket. It's a horrible feeling because you never want to see something on your windshield, but it's not a ticket. It's just the notice to pay. It's not any more money than if you paid coming in the gate. And sometimes the park chooses just to do it that way. It's more efficient for them and they hope that you'll pay it.
So that most of the other questions have been answered in the chat. Other people have been chiming in that they've been swimming in the lake either with a sleeveless wetsuit or without one, and they were just fine. The only other question that hasn't been answered yet are the rack separation.
Correct.
And
Thank you.
And I haven't talked about the transition with you either.
The rack separation, what do you mean?
How are they gonna, you said they were gonna be separated by age groups. Are they gonna be separated by race and age group?
Yes, sorry about that. I should have said that. Yeah, race and age group. And it's for them, it's for all of you so that you know who's around you in your race, and also for safety so that we know that everyone in that wave, that now the bikes are gone. So that's good. We don't have to be looking for somebody.
Are we putting up individual bike rack numbers?
No, we're
Okay.
not. Because do you remember at Ann Arbor Tri?
No, I know. I was
Yeah.
just clarifying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because, and the reason is because now that we do the dynamic bib assignment, which is much more efficient for everybody,
Yeah.
you end up with a number next to somebody who could be in a completely different race, and it just makes it just not the way we used to do it in the old days for safety. So we're going to now then go back and not put the stickers on. So just so you all know, you might see numbers with stickers. We're going to try to get them off, but there might be some stickers on there. Just ignore those and look for the signs.
All the questions have been answered in the chat. The race belts are available, will be available during packet pickup on Friday there as well.
They will. We're running low. A lot have been ordered.
Okay.
if you want to race, but I recommend maybe coming to Packet Pickup on Thursday and buying it there because we'll have them there. But we are running low. We do have award winner, but they say award winner. I mean, if people really need them, we would have those. But we have another 1,000 on order right now. They're just not here yet. Another chat coming in here.
There is, but I've answered that before. Somebody asked again, if do you want us to wear race belts on the bike and the run, or just the run?
You know, we like them on the bike and on the run because some of the, we keep that as standard for all of our races because some of the communities where we have them, the police ask us for everyone to be identified with a number. And so we say, put it on your back and then switch it around to the front for the run. And also by doing that, if you have your number already on your back, you don't forget to put it on for the run. So it's a good practice. If you don't have it on for the bike, don't freak out there. You won't be penalized for it, but you do need to have it for the run. And also the great reason to have it is then you get your photos. Although we now have facial recognition, so never mind, I can't use that line anymore. We're going to have facial recognition for finding your photos after, which is going to be kind of cool. Oh, one thing I want to mention too, because we got some emails about it. If anyone is 50 or older, and you're in the sprint or the Olympic race, the race will qualify you for the National Senior Olympics, which is kind of cool. They usually have their own triathlon, but they are now partnering with us so that this race is Island Lake Tri and part of the Senior Olympics. So you don't need to pay anything extra. You just need to indicate that in your registration. You would go in and go like you're joining a team, join the Senior Olympics team. And then they know that you are part of the Senior Olympics. You get an additional medal from the Senior Olympics when you're there, and you'll go over to their table, get the medal. And it's a fun thing to be a part of. So I recommend doing it. Any other questions? No. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks, Todd and Luann, for being on. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And this is
You're welcome.
Thanks, everybody. It's fun seeing some of the people who are on here.
Thanks.
Oh,
Looking forward to it.
Everybody can show
We
their-
are too. We are very much looking forward to it. Excited.
I am looking forward to it. When you were talking about the weeds, were you getting feedback from other racers from different events or
From
people?
other race directors
Okay.
who are putting on a race out there tomorrow. We're working together. So it's, yeah, this is, we need to talk about this. Yeah. So the medals are beautiful, by the way, anyone who's still on. I'm going to show you the medal. Should I show them the medal or should I not?
Yeah, show the medal if you have them.
So cool. We don't have the shirts yet, but wait till you see this medal that you guys are all gonna get. I don't know if I'm doing it justice here, but it's made out of wood
Good
and
Lord.
it's like layers. Wait, now Todd, when you talk, they can't see me. So look at that, guys. You
That's not
guys really? Because when Todd talked, I only saw him. Okay. So yeah, they're very nice. So excited. Lots of other fun stuff too. Smooge, I told you guys about Smooge at the finish line. Unless something happens and we don't, but we hope to have that. And that's all. Okay, well, 7:42 and I need to be someplace at 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna sign off. You can all stay on and chat among yourselves if you'd like to. Ask each other questions.
Come see us Thursday and Friday.
Yes, I highly recommend Thursday.
Thursday or Friday, yeah.
Friday, I think, is going to be challenging on I-96. So I'd like to see everyone on Thursday. And then Friday we'll be there setting up. So, all right. All right. Oh, yeah, I like Janet's comment about the lily pads. It should be nothing, but I think it's different. The lily pads to me are like paddles. I grab the lily pad and I push myself forward. The weeds, I don't know, but I think that what we're going to have to do, Janet, is the course is going to be altered to keep away from the weeds. It's that bad that we won't be able to get in there to set it up, but we will figure it all out.
We,
All right.
we altered it last year and made a good run of it.
We did. From what I hear, it's double last year.
Ooh,
Yeah. Yeah.
it'll be fun.
Look at all the inside info that everyone on the call today is getting.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
oh, I'm not worried at all. The whole thing is, having the knowledge of being prepared, and we'll figure it out. It just may not be. That's why we don't have a swim map out there. Although I did think there might be one on the website, but maybe not. I don't know. So, all right. Well, thanks everyone again. Thanks Todd and Luann for being on, and all of you for sharing your Tuesday evening with us. We've got a lot to do the next couple of days. So hopefully your questions are answered. But if not, we're still going to be online answering. So find us on live chat, send an email, give us a phone call. And yeah, we'll see you Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, or all of them.
Have a good week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.